Hi, my name is Bethany and welcome to an episode of the library. I'm really excited today because they're going to start construction on my library today. If you remember, a few weeks ago we had a massive water leak, and that water leak came in here, and they're going to start construction today, and I am so thrilled. So I wanted to talk today about how I incorporated reading in our lives, especially when my children were little, and just the ways that I kind of went after that. And I had a big goal and how I went after that goal. The other thing is that I have book lists. Every time I talk about books, there's always an assigned book list on my Amazon affiliate links, and it's in the description. So if you're ever like, wait, hold on, I need to get that book, it's all listed there. So if you go to my description, you'll see the affiliate link, and there's a book list for every time that I talk about books. So when my children were younger, I found out about this program that's a free national initiative, and it's called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. And what this does is it encourages families to read 1,000 books to their children before the child enters kindergarten. And this may seem like a daunting task, and it is, but if you start it when they're younger, you've got time to reach that goal before they reach kindergarten. Now, if you started like when they are, right before kindergarten, you probably can't accomplish it if you do it the week before, but you can accomplish it if you plan ahead. So the thing is that 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten encourages you that if you read aloud a book, 25 times, you can log that you've read the book 25 times. And by log, I mean there is an app available. I think you can also go to your local library and sign up. So there are ways for you to participate in this. Again, it's free. It's a great program. So I learned about 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten when my children were young, and I made it a goal that each of my children would read 1,000 books before kindergarten. And that was my goal. Now, I kind of did it a little bit differently than what they say, in that I only logged a book one time. We may have read it 25,000 times, but I only recorded it once. And one of the reasons I was doing that is because I was trying to read as many books as possible to my children, and expose them to like different stories and I just wanted them to just have a love for reading and learning and curiosity. So reading that many books, the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten, creates really strong parent-children bonding, helps encourage language skills with your child, helps them, it creates like a very good foundation for learning, and great introduction to reading. So when they enter school, they are ready to read and to learn. It increases their comprehension, and it exposes them to the very magical world that is books. So there's so many benefits to it. And I just kind of took it and ran with it. There's all different ways that you can do this. You can read aloud picture books and chapter books. You can listen to audiobooks with your children. The goal is to just read to them. That's the goal. So I'm going to show you through this very small stack of picture books today, ways that we incorporated reading and connected to the story in a way that would create cozy memories and would encourage them to look forward to when we were reading aloud. I was a stay-at-home mom, so I read aloud to them at meals and at bedtime. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you. And read aloud to them when we would have picnics outside, or just on a normal Tuesday afternoon, or in the mornings, or whatever the case may be. We went to the library frequently, and we went to the local bookstore, and we went to the thrift store looking for books. So we just tried to incorporate that. Reading and discovering new books was always kind of the goal, and that it was fun. Now, there are ways to take the books that you're reading and kind of bring them to life, and kids love this, and it's very simple. A lot of this is around food because that's an easy connection, right? So for instance, when we would read Blueberries for Sal, we would eat blueberries, not every single time, but we would make sure that when we were reading the book, there would be a moment where we would do this. And in the book, she does canning, and so we would like make blueberry pancakes or blueberry muffins, and we would read aloud this book. And so when Sal was eating blueberries, so were we. I've mentioned before, but when we read Dragons Love Tacos, we ate tacos. We had a whole taco party when the Dragons Love Tacos 2 book came out, because we were so excited for the return of these beloved characters. Please Mr. Panda is a book all about Mr. Panda trying to give away donuts. So you better believe we have eaten a ton of donuts to celebrate Mr. Panda. Holiday books are such a fun way kids are already excited about the holidays, so then we get to invite them in through a book. And so of course, if we're for Thanksgiving, we love The Great Thanksgiving Escape. We find this book to be absolutely hysterical and extremely accurate. Continuing on with that is some more holiday books. So for Valentine's Day, The Love Monster. I know this is a board book, but it actually comes as a picture book as well. Stop That Witch is a Halloween book. And The Nutcracker in Harlem is, we would read books about the Nutcracker, and then we would either watch the movie or go to the performance. So lots of ways to encourage that. Now, the other things that you can do is when the leaves start falling and you have to rake the leaves and you want your children to jump in the leaves, well, there's a book for that, and it's called Sweep. And this is a really fun book to read aloud to make that very monotonous chore seem very exciting and they can look forward to. I'm from the South, y'all, and so if there's a hint of snow, well, you better believe I'm going to get a snow book out of it, and we're going to read about snow and celebrate snow. And we may not get as much snow as this book. This is a Caldecott Honor Award. I mean, this is a tremendous amount of snow, probably more snow than I've ever seen in my whole life. But we're going to read about it and we're going to enjoy it. I wanted them to learn about like different cultures and different people and different traditions. And so Tea with Milk by Alan Say. And we would have tea with milk and we would read this book together. This book by Patricia Polico is so fun. It's Thundercake, and it's about what you do when there is a storm rolling in, or if you have a child who's afraid of thunder, get this book, because guess what? At the end of the book, there's a recipe involved, and you can make cake while you watch thunder roll in. And we have done this, and it was magical. If you plan to take your children to the Natural History Museum of any sort, and they're going to see dinosaur skeleton or dinosaur bones, you should read a book about dinosaurs. And I don't really mean scientifically, I just mean fun. So how do dinosaurs eat their food is a great way to start that conversation. So when they go in and say, wait, hold on, I recognize that dinosaur that I'm seeing in the museum because we read a book. Going to a baseball game, I highly recommend going to the Braves or the Savannah Bananas, but read the book about the baseball legends. Like, this is a great option. You've never heard of Willie Mays. And so we would read these books aloud and anticipating, hey, this is what we're going to be going to do, right? For a long time, we were really into watching Shark Week, which is really fun. And so we have books about sharks. So this Shark Lady is the true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist. So we would watch Shark Week, and we would have Shark Week gummies and, you know, like candies and treats and all those fun things, right? And then there would be books that we would read aloud to it. And so I just try to look at every opportunity of things that we were doing in our everyday life and incorporate the books into those lives. When we would go to Disney World, I would make sure they were reading something about either Disney characters or Walt Disney or the Disney animators. We're just always trying to incorporate reading into our daily lives. And now what's happened is, you know, my children read 1,000 books before kindergarten. they've done very well in school. It does not guarantee they're going to be voracious readers, but it does mean that we have very strong parental, parent-child bonds. It means that we have strong memories connected to the books that we're reading. And they have an appreciation and love for books. And they may not read as often as I read, but we have great conversations. And a lot of times I really attribute these very in-depth conversations that we're having. And it kind of goes back to the fact that I think it's because we read aloud so much that there's this comprehension and this understanding of the world that I would like to take some credit for it, but also I just think that it's because we read aloud a lot and it evoked really great conversations. So, happy reading.